Thank you all for coming tonight. Ed, we'll start with the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us offer thanks for our food, blessings for one another, and for absent friends. Let us be a source of hope for those in need and contentment for those who are lonely. Let us give gratitude for our opportunities to serve our country and our world. Let the feelings of love and kindness and well-directed spirit always be reflected in our actions. Amen. Thank you and enjoy your dinner. We had a board meeting right before this meeting here, and I'd like to bring something to the assembly to vote on. Wellsprings van, we'd mentioned a few weeks ago that they were looking for. They need a new van for the Ticket to Ride. Coastal Nissan has been working with them as far as giving them more money than the van was worth as trade-in, and they've also given them a decent discount on their new van. Wellspring has also raised $10,000 for the van. So what was put to the board was $6,900, and it was approved. From this, we're thinking about having the van in the parade next year. So, anyways, Will brought this to the board, and we're bringing it up for a motion or for discussion. So, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we entertain providing $6,900 or whatever the actual number is.
Yeah, that's right. All right, second? Second, okay, it's open for discussion. Rick?
That's, if recollection serves me, that's considerably lower than we've donated in the past, and that's been a great program. We have our logo on it, we've got good visibility, and I think that's a value for us, and certainly a great cause. Their needs are, they use that van tremendous, to advantage.
Right. I think that this is, I've learned that this is actually their third van. The first one was a gas guzzler, a large van, and then they went to a minivan, which is more effective. Thank you for whoever turned that up. Thank you, Frank. They went to a more cost-effective van, so now they're working with Coastal Nissan. There will be a photo op. Obviously, we'll have the paper there and such when the keys are handed over. Are there any other discussions?
Wait, I'm voting yes right away for the 6th day, just to let you know. But shouldn't we try to get the Nantasket Hull Club to contribute towards this?
No, no. We're working with the Nantasket Hull Club on another event, like the Hull Top 10. As far as there is still a new club, but we are definitely in partnership with them as far as growing. I'm thinking that the next time in 4 years from now, that actually they'll be able to do the lion's share of this as it comes through. But this actually it was a question I had early on too. So thank you, Pete. Anybody else open for discussion? Yes, Carolyn.
I support it 100%. I work very closely with Vinny. I know what that van does and what it means to that group. So everyone here should know how important that van is for all the good deeds that they do.
Oh, Carolyn, do you know how many towns around, they extend quite a bit.
Quite a bit,
Van goes,
yeah, they do.
does extensive mileage.
Yeah, they said that they did more than 5,800 rides last year. Yeah, so they're helping out a lot of people who are in need. So, open. Anybody else?
That started as a one-store outfit when they first started. In fact, one of our members was in the first store. The fellow had the bike shop. Can't think of his name. Yeah, Gene Lewis. He was in the first store, and Wellspring started in the second store. Vinny's the fourth director down there, and he's the one that made it grow. He's the one that got involved so much in the community. He lives in Hull. He does an excellent job, and he's just made the whole thing a huge success. His doing.
Another, yeah. Actually, any further discussion? I'd like to take a vote. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion's passed. Actually, the move has passed, right, Will? It's not the motion. It's passed, so. The motion's passed. There we go. You moved the motion? I know, I feel, yeah, I move every once in a while, too. All right, so we're going to go over a little bit of business here, just to let everybody know. Next week is the holiday party. It's going to be here. I think invites have gone out a couple times. I know Rob just sent another one today. It's going to be at the South Shore Country Club, same time. Danielle is the chairperson. Go ahead, Rob.
Can I just go over-
Please.
I just want to clarify one thing.
Go ahead.
So the kids piece, there's Santa Claus will be here, so bring your grandkids. It's $15. They'll have an option for chicken fingers and fries, and that will give them a picture with Santa Claus, and so it's going to be a fun event. So just register your kids online or shoot me an email with who's going to be there, and then you can just pay for the kids at the door. But everyone else, we're encouraged to sign up online if you can. Okay, if you have any questions, come see me or ask Danielle about it.
Excellent. Is Daniela, did you want to say anything about?
She's not
I don't- So she's not here. She left already. Okay. So secretary report then is going to be done by you?
Actually.
Okay. Well, I'll just ask for it. So okay, that's next week. December 26th is the weekend after that. There's no meetings, Christmas, vacation. Victor's the chairman of that, so if you have any objections, talk to Victor. Victor is actually the chairman of every non-meeting we have, and when there's an email that gets sent out, and he says the chairman. So he is a contributing member, and there are some people, who just could step up a little bit more, and not just your wallet. All right, January 2nd 's an outing at Hingham Beer Works. Rob is the chairman of that one, so it's going to be a good time. January 9th is a speaker meeting. Will is going to be presenting Suzanne Bachman. Is that, yes, correct? Excellent.
Historical Society.
Hingham Historical Society, all right? And January 12th is our comedy night that we're going to be doing. That's going to be upstairs, 300 seats. We're pushing out for that. It's not going to be Kevin, but Kevin will be there to give to. Dave Russo is a comedian locally, and he's been on E! And Carson and I guess all that stuff. Well, not Carson. It would be late night. Will be actually the guest. There has a second one who's coming, and now there's a third, possibly third comedian, but until we line them up, I won't say the name. And along with Kevin. Kevin will be there. So that's the night. So 19th next week we're here. No meeting the 2 weeks from now. Third meeting is going to be Hingham Beer Works. We'll send out invites, and then the other two meetings will be here. So I guess we're on to the part I've been looking forward to, because she's not paying attention. This is the best part as far as being president is doing this right now. Is inducting new members, and today we are honored to induct Maureen Sosha as a new member of the Hingham Hull Rotary Club. Virginia Gray is her sponsor to recognize her and to recommend her to the club. So I'm going to have the two of you come up, if you would. Rob, cameraman. Well, it's supposed to be Danielle, but she's gone. Or Maria. Okay. As we go through life focused on career and family, we know that we want to contribute and give back to the society and our community. We believe that joining Rotary is one of those ways of giving back to others who are in need. Maureen, you have been chosen for membership in the Rotary Club of Hingham and Hull because your fellow members believe that you are a leader of our community and you will represent the club with honor and integrity. It is our motto of service above self. The motto has meanings to many of us. Each of us is different. But for me, it's about letting my ego and pride go into helping others. I'm going to pass on that. So, on behalf of the Hingham Hull Rotary Club and Rotary International, May I welcome you to the club? And I'm going to have Ginny present you with this pin. And with the presentation of this Rotary pin, I declare that you are a member of the Rotary Club of Hingham Hull. And Maureen is going to hand Ginny a sponsor pin and thank her. So I'm going to have Maureen say just a quick thing, and actually a little photo op here with your welcome packet. This is all for you.
Thank you, thank you.
And your handbook is inside there, so you know when the meetings are and what the extra things are coming out. So, yeah, I'm in this one. But then you're going to get the one that I'm going to post on the website.
Oh.
That's why I want you to have 5, 6. I'm going to show up with all of them. There you go. Are you sure? All right, okay. No, you can keep that. That's for you. That's for you.
No, because I have them at home. I have a collection of them.
Okay, okay.
And let me say something.
Just going to say a quick thing.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to take a quick opportunity, obviously, to thank all of you for allowing me this opportunity to join you. And I think we can do wonderful things. As the hospice house manager, I invite all of you at any given time to come up to the house. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised as to what you'll find and to what we contribute there to the community as well. It's a beautiful place. The staff is fabulous. Today alone, we received 2 new residents. Dealing with the family has been an overwhelmingly pleasurable task for myself. So again, I enjoy meeting you. Some of you I know on a personal level, and I look forward to developing some friendship and getting things accomplished for the community. Thank you so much.
Maureen has asked me for her first official act of being a Rotarian is to fine Kevin $20.
She did have to sit with him.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, past events, I'd like to recognize Ken Allen for last week taking my place up here, and really appreciate it. And I heard he did a great job, so just an extra hand for Ken. I told Ken before, when I handed over the meetings prep, that I said that when Jim took my place, he raised $40 in fines. And he showed up the Sunday morning with my bag, said he raised 42, so. I can't wait for the next person to take over. Maybe I should leave every week. So thank you again, Ken. We also had last week as a speaker Ann Williams at Polio Plus, for those who didn't make it and were able to see. I believe, Harold, you were the presenter for? Yes. Thank you for that. Birthdays, December 3rd, we had Dave, Vinny's birthday was December 3rd. Dave's Powers is December 30th. The second week in a row that we've got you for this, right, Dave? Wow. Oh, no? Huh? All right. And Ed, while you're up, you might as well just collect that $20 from Kevin. Okay, secretary's report. There we go. Ginny's the secretary tonight. Yay.
Standing right here.
I had a problem.
You gotta speak at this
I had a big problem. Bigger problem. I counted up the people that were on this list, and it didn't match with all the people in the room. So, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, would you collect, excuse me, $1 from Dom Arthur, Rick Gudman,
I checked Victor
Rob
and I forgot to check
McCallum.
myself off.
I know you paid.
That's no excuse. Rob McCallum, Bud Muller, and Dave Powers, please. And that means, with all of those wonderful people, We have 27 members here tonight and 2 guests. That's fabulous. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to have Dave Power come up to introduce our speaker.
I happen to work in Boston, and when I need to drive, I drive, and I go up 3A, and I get to the Fore-River Bridge. I go over the bridge, I go around the Rotary, and when you go around the Rotary, you can't help but see this little building on the right, and it says, I don't know, bait, tackle, something like that. And my wife has been in there buying sinkers when we used to do a little fishing. And I mentioned that he was going to be at the club tonight, and she said, "Oh, I bought those sinkers, and they still work." But along with the sinkers, there's, and I didn't know this. Joanne didn't say anything about it, so hopefully she didn't notice. But there's jewelry sold, and tonight we have Rick Newcomb. He is owner, manager of the shop, and he's been there for 37 years, or I don't know if he's been there, but the shop's been there for 37 years. And he sells both jewelry and fish and tackle. To get the jewels, I think every year, Rick said he travels to Cambodia and Thailand to get some rubies and sapphires. So he obviously knows what he's doing, and he gets the stones from the source. So it's great that he's here to speak to us briefly, and I'd like to welcome Rick Newcomb.
My mom started the fishing tackle industry about 37 years ago, and I was actually in the mining profession way back then. And after a long stint in the mining profession, I've mined in Brazil, Minas Gerais, Arkansas, Colorado, Utah, Washington State, Montana, all over the Northwest, primarily in Arkansas. And I love the mining industry, but I needed to get out of the mining industry. 3 broken bones and 3 extremely close near-death experiences, and it was time for me to get out while my luck was still holding. My mom wanted to retire out of the fishing tackle industry, so I decided to take over for her, and I took over about 21 years ago. The fishing tackle industry is a very, very tough profession. If you've got to be able to you've got to be willing to work 7 days a week, 9 months straight, 10, 12 hours a day. If you're not willing to do that, don't get into the business. Thankfully, I grew up in a very industrious kind of background with my family, and we're very, very hard workers. I wanted to get out of the mining industry, like I said, because I was getting injured too many times. And when I took over from my mom, the very first year that I took over was a very, very good year, but we worked 9 months straight. And when we take off for the year in our winter season, usually 3 months, most bait shop owners go down to Florida, vacation down there. I can't stand Florida. Sorry to say, whoever's going down there, but to me it's a little bit boring. And my idea of a vacation is Southeast Asia. I speak the Thai language, I speak enough Khmer language to get by, and a little bit of Malay. And I would trump all over Southeast Asia. And on my very first trip there for 3 months, I was a little bit bored, and I was wondering if there was a way that I could make my trips pay for themselves. And that's when it hit me that Cambodia and Thailand are the ruby and sapphire capitals of the world. So when I swore to myself that I would never, ever, ever again go mining, here I am now back in Cambodia mining. And it's a very, very dangerous, Cambodia is a very dangerous area to go to. The area that we mine from is still controlled by the Khmer Rouge, and everybody knows what a horrible state that was when they took over. They got defeated by the Vietnamese in '75, but they still control quite a lot of the country. And my background's in geology. I have a geology background, a crystallography background, and it was just a natural for me to start mining rubies, sapphires, and zircon, peridot, garnet, as well as many other stones from Cambodia. I own 2 small claims, and I do mean small. One's probably about the size of that quadrant of that room in there, and another about half of this quadrant here. And I'm allowed by the Khmer government to mine 1 month each on each of those claims. Because I'm a foreigner, I cannot mine for longer than that. Very strictly controlled. I have to pay off the Khmer Rouge by all the stones that we get. We bring it to the Khmer Rouge, and they basically tax us for it, shall we say. That's a nice way of putting it. But what I'm able to do is, my concept was, was that when my wife was alive, I loved this woman very much. And I wanted to always shower her with beautiful things. But I always felt that here in America, we were getting, shall we say, very deep pockets to bring our lady something really nice. You know, as guys, we are kind of required by unwritten guy law to buy something nice for our ladies a minimum of 4 times a year, and I think it should be every day. You know, we've got Valentine's, Christmas, birthday, and anniversary. And you forget one of those, you're in trouble. Well, my concept was that I wanted to create really good jewelry that the average working class hero could afford. My late wife, Kathy, was a very great illustrator and artist. And so we found a family in Cambodia that whatever Kathy and I would draw, they would make. I would mine the stones, bring them to Phnom Penh. That's where the family, the limbs, they would cut, grind, polish, facet the stones. We'd submit our drawings, our designs, which is some of the things that you see here on the bracelets. And then they would make it, we'd bring it back to the States. I've been doing this now for about 20 years. I think I'm on my 21st year. And we're expanding out. We're going to be mining in a place called Ban Lung, Cambodia, another kind of Wild West area of Cambodia, for a stone called zircon, which is the very first gemstone of humanity that's known in the human race. I love doing what I do. It's a wild kind of existence. I work hard for 9 months a year, then I'm usually for 3 months a year in Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, Indonesia, and parts of that region to source out and find silversmiths that I've never seen before, different gemstones that I've never had a chance to work with. We're one of the few places that you'll ever find that carries in stock at all times orange, yellow, green, white sapphires. Most people don't even realize that here in the States, we only see the blue sapphires. But in reality, sapphires can come in any color in the rainbow. Only if it's red do we call that a ruby. Rubies and sapphires are the exact same thing. It's an element called corundum. And what I brought tonight is a few examples of some of our premier pieces. And I did want to let everybody know that if you take one of our business cards and if you come on into our shop and remind us, the girls that work for me, my 2 partners or myself, that you are with the Rotary, it's an automatic 25% off anything and everything inside the store. And this isn't with inflated prices like a lot of the big people do. This is just normal everyday pricing. Because we cut the stones, whatever stones I get, I have cut in by a gem cutter, master cutter, in Cambodia, in Phnom Penh. In America, if you get a gemstone cut, you're looking at anywhere from maybe $100 to maybe $250. In Cambodia, I can get the same stone hand cut for $10. $10. And because I mine the stones myself, and whatever I don't find, whatever I buy on the wholesale market in Cambodia or Thailand, this is why our prices for our jewelry are literally 40 to 50% below what a gemologist could even buy the stones for here in America. It's really amazing. You know, in the jewelry industry, you're looking at 5,000 to 7,000% markup in jewelry, you know. And don't be persuaded, please, by the new trend that's called, you know, the chocolate diamonds. Everybody's seeing the ads for chocolate diamonds. In the jewelry industry, that is the least desirable, junkiest diamond of all. And yet they're promoting it like crazy, and they're duping a ton of people, and they'll never talk about it. That is the bottom of the barrel for diamonds. I don't do diamonds. I do gold, but I don't do any diamonds at all. Because my concept is, I want to do something that nobody else does. First of all, everybody that I talked to in my family, some business advisors, told me that it was the most craziest thing in the world to have a jewelry store and a bait store. And it is. It is. But it works for us. You know, we are one of the, we can actually say that we are one of the only places in the world that we know of that you can buy rubies and squid under the same roof. It works. And that notoriety has landed us on Chronicle twice. It's landed us 4 major newspaper articles and 2 other television shows, as well as 2 magazine articles also. So, you know, don't be afraid in business or in life to do something that goes against the grain. Don't be afraid in business especially to take some of those wild and crazy ideas that you may have in the back of your head and that everybody else says, no, 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 that's not going to work. Go with your gut feeling. I'm always a firm believer, stay positive. Go with your gut feeling. And no matter what the naysayers say about this is going to work, or that's going to work, or this study or that study, forget all of it. If you got a dream, go do it. Do it within moderation, just in case it doesn't work. You know, absolutely. But do it. Don't hesitate. I've never been afraid to do any kind of venture within my business. And we had rented the property there for, God, it was about 30 years. And I took 4 years of poverty, of living in squalor conditions, but I paid off $250,000 for that property in 4 years with this jewelry and with our bait and tackle store. We own lock, stock, and barrel the property there, which is a great accomplishment. I felt that that was great. And I'm willing to make the sacrifice. Many times when we have dreams in our lives, we've got to make sacrifices. It doesn't just come on a silver platter. We've got to give something to get something. And this is a business that draws a lot of blood at times. It's a very dangerous area to be going into, Cambodia and Thailand, especially Cambodia. If you do go there, stay in Phnom Penh unless you have a trusted driver. It's still like, very much it's like the Wild West over there. Very, very dangerous area, but very beautiful. Very sweet people, very loving. But that's basically what we do, and our prices are really unbeatable. Unbeatable. I do sell to other gemologists and to other stores also, raw stones, cut and polished stones. So my stuff is not exclusive. A lot of these smaller gemologists and smaller jewelers can't get the deals that I can because they don't go over there. If I was an established jewelry store, I'd be over in Cambodia and Thailand at least once a year. That's the place where probably about good 80% of your jewelry comes from. But the problem is that when you have jewelry made over there, and then when it finally makes it back to a retail shop here, you're looking at 5 to 8 people who what we call step on it, who buy it and sell it, buy it and sell it, buy it and sell it. That's why in your average jewelry store, you're looking at about 5,000 to 7,000% markup. That's pretty heavy. We try to eliminate all that. We eliminate it all by having everything cut in Cambodia, by having it all made in Cambodia, and by myself either mining the stones or buying the stones on the wholesale market. It's kind of fun, it's kind of wild what I do. I wouldn't give it up. I'm almost 60 years old, and trust me, it keeps you young doing what I do, tromping through the countries like that. And I wouldn't change a thing. I really wouldn't. Paid a lot of sacrifices for what we do, like everybody in business does. You know, you got to bleed a little to get a little. But it's worth it in the end. And don't ever, ever, ever give up on your dreams for what you want to accomplish. Because no matter how crazy it may seem, and no matter how many people may tell you it's a bad idea, try going for those weird ideas. A lot of times they do work. A lot of times they do work. Any questions? Yes, sir.
I've been to the Carolinas and
Yes.
looked for
Rubies.
rubies.
Yes.
So what's the terrain and or the circumstances? Is it washing mud and, or is it rock or what is it?
Have you ever seen them pan for gold?
Yeah.
Okay, same way. We have a water sluice coming down. You're basically working in a rubble environment.
Right.
So you're working off the side bank embankment, and usually that's where a lot of the deposits will hold, what we call hold, and then you just scoop up all from your shovel or whatever, scoop it up into a pan, like a gold pan, throw in some water, swish it around a little bit, and then when you train what to look for in a ruby, which I have some rough rubies up here, that if anybody's wants to know what a ruby or sapphire looks like, I've got rubies up here right out of my own claim. So, you know, you can see what they look like, and then here we've got all the finished stones that we do. And it's a very simple thing. Once you know what to look for, you throw away the rubble, pick out the good stuff. And I'll tell you, it's just like when you go fishing and when you don't know what you're going to catch. Your blood rate rises, your heart's pounding, and you're like a little kid discovering the greatest thing in the world. And then you see what you've got in your hand, and you're like, oh my God. It's a lot of fun. Another question? Yes, sir.
You mentioned the danger. Have you ever had any problems?
Yeah, I have. I've had a lot of problems over there. Back 20 years ago, I would have to hire usually a captain or a major of the Khmer regulars and 2 sergeants. And they would pick me up in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, because the problem is there's a lot of bandits, there's a lot of pirates, there's a lot of problems up in those areas. Cambodia is not a third world country, it's a fourth and fifth world country. And it's very dangerous. So I would have the captain and the 2 sergeants usually escort me in military jeep. I'd have to pay them a month's wages. So a month wages to the captain or the major is $50, $60 US. A month's wages for the sergeants is $25. That's what they make a month, you know? Yeah. If you make $5 a day in Cambodia, you're doing good. If you make 8, you're rich. But the cost of living is so much different. You know, what we pay $12 for a meal here would cost 20 cents there. So cost of living. When I took my family out to dinner, when you end any business transaction, it's always a family affair. There are 45 members in this family, and only 2 of which made it through the original purging from the Khmer Rouge. And now there's 45, thank goodness. But we took 18 of them out to dinner at a 5-star restaurant in Phnom Penh. And 18 people, 4-course meal, drinks, the whole bit. The bill was $43. $43 for 18 people. I mean, that was incredible. So my problem used to be not in getting up there, but getting out of there. There's one road in to Pailin, Cambodia. There's one road out. There are no airports. It's just a one road in, one road out. And other than that, you've got a mountain range you'd have to cross to get into Thailand. So the problem is once you get up in there, everybody's looking at you and everybody knows that you're not a native. You're basically, when I first started up there, I was the first white person that they had seen in 7 years. Hadn't seen any white person in 7 years. And it was the French that they had seen up there 7 years ago. And the problem is getting out of there. Getting out of there, everybody knows that you have stones. Everybody knows that you're carrying product with you. So if you don't want to get killed and thrown in a rice paddy, you know, you hire the Khmer regulars to take you out of there. Now it's gotten better. You know, I'd say up until about 5, 6 years ago, it's actually gotten better, and I don't need to do that as much anymore. And they're actually having tourists go up into that area, which is amazing because there's nothing to see. You know, so I don't know why people are going there. There's literally nothing to see.
Pagodas?
No, the temples are the temples. I mean, they're all over the place, and they're mostly in downtown Phnom Penh. Temple of the Eyebrows is one of the most famous, and it's got supposedly Buddha's eyebrows in there. And the king of the monks lives at that temple. The king of the Buddhist monks in Cambodia lives there. So yeah, it is dangerous. Our area that we mine in is still controlled by the Khmer Rouge. We pay them a tax, basically. And their own government would not go up into that area up until about maybe 5, 6 years ago. That's how scared they were. They're only now taking these people to trial. And the problem back then when I was going there was they think that you're a UN War Crime Tribunal member trying to get dirt on them. You know, so I usually try to document everything that I do with film so that nobody can, you know, say, oh, he doesn't do that. Yeah, here's the film. But with the Khmer, the very first time that we kind of brought filming equipment out, we had certain things put to our heads and said, you film us, that's it, you're done. So we very quickly put our filming equipment away and we never brought it out again. You know, finally after going there about 20 years, I've finally been given permission to film because they know I'm a little guy like they are. I'm just out to try to make a living, and so are they. You know, so it's kind of weird. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Do you own the mines that you dig in?
I own the claims. I have mining rights to the claims. So in other words, I don't own the actual land because I'm a foreigner, but when I pay the Khmer Rouge, those are my pieces of land. And nobody is allowed to touch those pieces of land unless I'm there, or unless I contact them and let them know that I'm giving permission for somebody to dig on that site. And if anybody does dig on that site, they're basically dead. It's as simple as that. You know, it's very, very, very controlled. Very controlled.
Does that cost you much to?
It cost me $35 for one claim, $35 US. The other claim is a bigger one that cost me $75. But then whenever you come, what I have inside this dish here is, this is called an LOT. That's a measurement. We call it a lot, but it's an actual measurement in Cambodia terms. And the stones inside this, that's an LOT. When I bring those stones out that are rough, they aren't cut and polished, I have to present them in my hands to the leader, the head man of who's controlling that district, and he will look at it, he'll evaluate it, and then he'll tax me. And last time I was there, 3 months ago, I think my tax was like $8. $8, you know, and I'm pulling out stones that, you know, I can turn into thousands, yeah. So it's a really good deal over there. It's a really good deal over there. I'm a businessman. It's a very good deal. But I try to pass that along here, too. You know, I mean, I think that people, you know, it appalls me how much people pay for stuff. You know, I started out, really, the very first thing I imported was reading glasses. Here I am in a district of Bangkok, Thailand that most white people don't go to, tourists don't go to. It's a manufacturing area. And here I see Pies reading glasses. I need these things to read. And I'm tired of going to places like Stop and Shop and CVS. You pay what, $12 to $20 for these? Maybe on sale $9.99. Here at Pies reading glasses, there are a couple of people waiting in back of me, about 2,500 of them for 31 cents a piece. While the guy's getting my order, there's an American standing in back of me. I'm like, man, I don't see many Americans. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm a buyer for the U.S. Really? No kidding. Where are you from? New England. Really? Wow, I'm from Quincy, Massachusetts. We start getting talking. I can't say the chain, but there is a pharmacy chain here that this guy, and it's in the first 3 letters of the alphabet, that this guy was the buyer for. And if I got him for 31 cents a piece, he was buying hundreds of thousands for him, and he's getting them for a dime. And what do they charge? First thing I did when I got off the plane, I went into that pharmacy and I looked. $12 to $20 in their Pies reading glasses. That's how we get charged for things here. So I wanted to kind of break that cycle, and I wanted to bring things back for the average working class hero. That's not going to break the bank. I think all of us guys should be pure romantics to the ladies in our lives. I'm always that way. If you're with a woman and if you love that woman, tell her every day, shower her with the things that, you know, you don't wait for what society tells us to do. You know, I know you ladies love to hear this. You know, don't wait. Any other questions? No? You guys are a really great bunch. I really thank you for inviting me here. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if anybody needs to buy anything, I don't just sell rubies and sapphires. I have silver earrings from Indonesia. Any of you guys see the Rambo movie, the very last Rambo movie? Anybody see that? Okay, the very last Rambo movie is when he's fighting the Burmese regulars and he's protecting the excuse me, I can't talk tonight. He's protecting the Karen Hill tribe people. If any of you saw Rambo 4, that's what he's protecting. I've been working with the Karen now in Laos for 18 years, and the Karen are some of the finest silversmiths in the world. They are absolutely phenomenal. And we have earrings from the Karen, from Indonesia, $15 to like $39, $49. Our shop is a reality shop. It's not a yuppie shop. We own the property. We don't need to charge you for rent. And we want to really provide something that's really unique. Most of my designs here, you're not going to find anywhere else in the world. They're one of a kind. I may replicate 2, 3 things in a year, and that's it. I want things to be exclusive. Same way on my silver earrings that I have. If they already have a client in America, sorry, I don't take you. I want something that nobody else has. If it's not hand done, if it's not handcrafted, sorry, I don't want you. No manufacturing, I want it all done by hand. So that's what we pride ourselves in. Any questions?
I have one more.
Yes, sir.
How do you get there? I mean, when you fly to Australia?
It's a horrible trip. No matter how you slice it, it's a 30-hour trip from hell. It is. Usually Boston to LA or Chicago, Chicago to Narita, Tokyo, Tokyo into Thailand, Thailand into Cambodia. No matter how you slice it, it's a 2-day, 30-hour trip. It's horrible. It's horrible. There's no way around it.
Worse than the Southeast Expressway.
Yeah. Just about as bad. Just about as bad on a Friday night when it's snowing. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Don't you have to pay an import tax and bring these?
Yeah, you do. Everything in U.S. government has what's called a harmonizing code. That's an importation duty tax from everything from a pencil to a piece of paper to a ruby or a sapphire. And when you travel there as much as I do, you get to know the customs agents. And just like with the IRS, you've got to give the dog a bone. But we decide how big of a bone to give them. And it's really interesting because third and fourth world countries are not taxed like Japan or China or Europe, Germany. No, these countries are so poor that our government actually gives us a real break. For most of my stuff, there's a 1.2% importation duty tax, and for a lot of it, there is no importation duty tax, because they're trying to encourage people like me to go to these countries, help them out, and then help the economy both for us and for them. So
When you come back to the United States, you're carrying a bag of 10 pounds or 5 pounds, or how big is this bag of jewelry you're carrying around?
it could be pretty darn big. $20,000 worth of jewelry can fit in a bag like that.
Okay.
You know, I mean, then this last trip I brought 464 rubies and sapphires back into the country. You know, and I carried them all on my person. You know, gemologists don't trust people to curry for them. You know, and you certainly don't trust FedEx. You know, it's very interesting. I was in Cambodia my first year there, and I wanted to ship my jewelry back to the U.S., so I went to FedEx. Who do you go to when you want to ship? You go to FedEx. So I went to FedEx and I started filling out the customs declaration form, you know, jewelry, jewelry, jewelry. And the manager comes up and he says, "Oh, you can't ship it from us." I'm like, "Why? You're a shipping company." He says, "Well, because our employees are going to read what the declaration form is and they're going to steal it." I'm like, "Wait a minute, you're a shipping company." No, if it's jewelry, then we're going to steal it. Oh my God. I went to DHL. DHL, same way. No. Our employees will steal it. So then I went to my freight forwarding company, and who I did a lot of business with for big stuff. "Mrs. Lim, how do I get my jewelry out?" "Oh, dear boy, do not worry. I tell you, just put it inside your backpack." What? Yeah, just put it in your backpack. And if Cambodian customs catches you, they're going to jump on top of you, they're going to drag you into a room, they're going to yell and scream at you, and even though you speak Khmer, they're going to speak so fast you're not going to understand them, and they're going to really scare you, and then after 10 minutes they're going to leave. And when they leave the room, you go into your pocket, you take a $50 and $100 bill, and you hold it in your hand, and then a captain or major of Khmer Customs is going to come in. He's going to want to shake your hand. And then he's going to shake his finger at you, and then he's going to, "Okay, all right, go, bad boy, bad boy." It's as simple as that. You know, it's not getting it in and out of those countries. It's taking it into the U.S. to where we got to pay importation duty tax on it. It's really very simple. To be an importer or exporter is a piece of cake. Most people don't realize there is no big thing to being an exporter or importer. Just go to the U.S. Customs, fill out a license thing, an application, that's it. And have a company under, you know, a business license, and you're done. You can import, export anything. Anything final?
Yeah,
Yes.
your bait and jewelry.
Yep.
I'm opening up a candy store tomorrow.
That's right. With car parts right next in the same building, you know? When you walk into our store, to the left of the store, that's the fishing tackle. But then you walk 3 steps down, and we actually built a room, a nice, beautiful room that houses all the jewelry. And it's really beautiful, and it's really magnificent to see. And it's just so different. You know, it's gained us a little bit of notoriety, and we love the concept, and it works for us. Yes?
Okay, I know where you are, but what are your hours?
We're open 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's it. 7 days a week. You know, so we usually open, at this time of year, we usually open at 9 a.m. So at this time of year, we're staying open until about 8 p.m., you know. And during the height of the season, we're open like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to like 8 o'clock at night. Yeah. So we're there 7 days a week. 7 days a week. So, yes, sir.
When the gems are purchased,
Yeah.
they typically have different quality ratings.
That's correct.
And
Most people don't realize that.
And obviously, you're going to find all kinds of stones that have different quality ratings. You, as a gemologist, have the skill set to identify the rating and therefore price accordingly? Is that?
That's correct, and that's a very, very important thing you mentioned. Anytime you buy jewelry, now we're not talking about diamonds. Diamonds have a whole category, D through Z, and all different kinds of, it's unreal what you have to go through on diamonds. But any colored stone, you should be able to ask that gemologist, that jeweler, 4 questions. And if they can't answer those 4 questions, turn around and walk out. Number 1, where is the stone from? You would be surprised at how many jewelry stores, if they're selling you a ruby or a sapphire, they can't tell you where the stone is from. They can't tell you the carat weight. They can't tell you the cut. And most importantly, they can't tell you, according to the Gemological Institute of America, they can't tell you the quality. Gemstones, unlike diamonds, diamonds are graded D through Z. Gemstones are graded commercial grade, low grade, B. A plus, AA, AAA. That's it. That's it. And every gemologist or jeweler should be able to tell you what quality that stone is. Now, the problem that you're running into now in America is that unless you ask, what you're going to be sold are synthetic laboratory grown. There is, if you go into any of these major stores, like in South Shore Plaza, K's. I was in K's 2 weeks ago. There are 2 rings in K's that have real rubies in them. Every other piece of ruby, sapphire, and emerald jewelry is all laboratory grown synthetic. It's not a real stone. It's a laboratory man-made stone. That's why they can sell you a 2-carat stone for $249. It was made in a laboratory. It's not the real McCoy, as far as we're concerned. So you've got to ask, is this synthetic or is this a natural stone? And most of the time you're going to say, oh, no, this is the new synthetics. Okay? Okay, no problem, you know. Buy the real stones, because that retains its value. The synthetics, they make those in a laboratory, it's worth nothing. It's worth absolutely nothing, you know. And yet they're charging you for it. They're charging the top dollar for it. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. We only deal with natural gemstones, and that's what we've always done. You know. Did that answer your question?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So ask the gemologist, what is the quality of the stone? Stay with A plus, or AA on any of your colored stones. And if you're going to get an appraisal done, this is very important. There are 2 types of gemologists, people. 90 to 95% of your gemologists have the degree in gemology, but they are mostly schooled in diamonds. Only a master gemologist, which I am not, but my partner is, only a master gemologist has degrees in colored stone. And that's who you need to get an appraisal from for a colored stone. We're talking ruby, sapphire, emerald. If you go to a regular gemologist, I could take any one of these pieces. For this piece right here, I'll get anywhere of a appraisal from $100 to $10,000. Only a master gemologist is going to be able to tell you what the true value and appraisal of that is.
And what is the price for this appraisal?
Usually 25 to 50 bucks. Yeah, it's very inexpensive. You know, not expensive. It shouldn't cost you any more than 45 to 50 bucks. You know, if it does, then turn around and walk away. You know, always ask first. You know, and it's a good idea to get your jewelry appraised. You know, little secrets of the trade. Another one, if anybody's looking to buy pearls, walk into any jewelry store with a lighter. Ask to see the pearls and bring out a lighter. See what the reaction of the jeweler is. If you, oh my gosh, oh da-da, turn around and walk out, the pearls are fake. You can take a lighter, hold any pearl right into the lighter, to the flame of the lighter. Absolutely nothing's going to happen. It's not going to turn black. It's not going to melt. It's not going to mar. Nothing at all. That's a real pearl. That's a real pearl. No, you got to hit it on the side. Anything final?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, folks. Thank you.
Hey, Dave, do you mind, we'll just go. No, we're not done with you. We're not done with you. A couple things. We have a speaker gift, Dave. We're going to get a picture up here with you. So this is a little certificate that we have.
Wow.
So we'll have
Thank you.
service above self
that's
is the
sweet.
motto.
That's
and,
very sweet.
I'm about to take this out. Sorry about this. It's
It must be. You want to trade a ruby?
and a synthetic hourglass.
Hey, that's really cool. It works. I love it. I love it.
3 minutes. We timed it.
Oh my God.
And a pen. So we want to really thank you.
Thank
for
you very,
your
very
so
much.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.